Which that's one thing I want to talk to you about later. So we'll give Brennan a shot and tell what happens to him as keys fly across the room.
Brennan, after they got back to Winter Haven and they had the little parade for him and everything, and everyone was so happy. But Brennan realized that
we're all hitting the alcohol.
Jared,
we're all hitting the
make sure they jingle. There you
go.
I got to throw both of them.
But Brennan,
I want to join the party too.
What is it with you throwing stuff and breaking things?
For some weird, unexplained reason, we all just threw our keys across the room. Go ahead, Robert.
Brennan realizes there's still a lot for him to learn, and so he decides he's going to spend some time studying with Volthane in his wizard's tower, since he has so much subject material. Yeah, that one. I can't ever say that.
You mixed Ulvein and Volthane.
I do it every time.
Well,
Alex
two people
like
that hate each other so much.
Alex has said it to me like 4 or 5 times.
Can you imagine the fusion dance with Volthane and Ulvein?
Fusion, ha!
But so
poopy angry Drow.
while studying with
Volthroon.
While studying with Volthroon, Brennan picks up some new rituals, some stuff that fits his lifestyle. Since he does come from a noble class, he has certain things that he likes to he has learned to basically make living in the wilderness a little easier for him. But after about a month or so of studying, he gets visited by the guy from the Harpers, the representative that they met, and they tell the guy asked Brennan to travel to a nearby mining town, and he said there was a situation going on there that they want Brennan to look into. Since it has to deal with a noble, and Brennan is familiar with that world. So they asked Brennan to look into the situation. There's been rumors that a noble has been forcing the villagers, the townspeople, into the mines as kind of like a forced labor situation, and he's making them basically work until they die. So Brennan travels to the town and meets with the noble. He gets presented in his house or whatever. The little trumpet blares, and he has dinner with the noble, and they discuss things. And Brennan actually really enjoys his company because he's a really nice guy, and it's been a while since Brennan's been around people of that higher class, and it's like what he's more familiar with growing up. So he really really kind of grows very fond of the guy, and
despite his stinky sock drawers.
Yes. No, he actually never wears the same pair of socks more than once.
Wow.
That's how much of a noble he is.
Volthroon fact.
No, this isn't Volthroon.
Yeah,
this is a noble of this village.
Never mind. I wasn't paying attention.
Where have you been?
Thanks, man. Thanks,
Off
Justin.
in La La Land.
I listened to your whole story. After the feast or the dinner that they have, Brennan's kind of put away into a room to stay the night. And during the night, he sneaks out and goes and looks around the town and notices that there is no one walking around in this town. Even at night, you'd expect to see people like coming in and out of like a tavern or something. But I mean, the town it looks like a ghost town. It's dead. So Brennan is trying to figure out where everyone is, and he sees some lights off in the distance. So he goes to the lights, and he finds the mine that the town is known for. It's a coal mine, and he goes down into the mine, and he realizes that the entire village, men, women, and children, are down in this mine, slaving away, just constantly working. And it's like it seems like whenever they like rest for a second or seem to slow down with their progress, there's some soldiers who prod them and whip them and try to get them back to work. So when Brennan realizes this is the reason, this is the main reason that the Harpers sent him, is because the Harpers represent, freedom, and they want freedom. So they don't like how there's been this kind of forced slavery to increase their coal production, so that the like magistrate or whatever can make more money. So the next day, Brennan travels. Brennan goes back to the room, and he sleeps. Not very soundly though. He has a hard time sleeping because it really affected him what he saw, how the people were being treated. So then after the next morning, he confronts the noble about the slavery, and the noble actually makes a very compelling argument about why he does it, and he tries to make it seem like it's for their own good, because once he said that since the town has such a high production, they're able to trade a lot more goods, and they can receive more resources. But Brennan kind of sees through that when he realizes that the magistrate is the one who's getting all this gold, and he's not giving anything back to the people. So Brennan basically forces him into, tells him, like, you have to free these people. What you're doing to these people is wrong. You can't enslave another human being. It's morally wrong. There's nothing wrong with having a worker or a servant, someone who gets paid or is taken care of, but you cannot have slaves. It's morally wrong. And of course, when he says this, the noble kind of just scoffs and laughs at him and says, he said, I have the power, I have the money, I can do whatever I want. And Brennan then kind of does the flame on thing, and his hair lights up.
Flame on!
Yeah, his hair lights up, and he kind of grabs the magistrate by the collar. Brennan's not that scary looking of a guy. He's still really young. But when he gets all like flamey and stuff, he can be very, very intimidating.
Well, it's like a hissing cat. Like you look bigger and just more angry.
Well, it's
than your normal.
That and if someone's like all of a sudden caught on fire in front of you, if someone all of a sudden just caught on fire in front of you, you've got to be like, oh crap.
Well, and Genesees aren't like very common, I wouldn't think, and so.
Well, they live in some pretty big cities.
Yeah.
But probably not in this.
As common as like an elf or
probably not in this area.
Not in this area though. But and basically Brennan says, you need to stop this, or I'm going to have to remove you from your office, from your seat as the magistrate.
Remove from the game.
Bold words from a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
The magistrate disconnects from the game.
How much time has taken place, Robert?
It's only been he spent about a month with Volthun.
Okay.
And so it's probably been a full 2 months since we defeated
Calibro.
Yes, Calibro.
Which starts with a K, I found out.
Really? I did not know that.
Alex texted it to me.
Cool. So the magistrate again just
K's are more menacing than C's.
he scoffs and he laughs in Brennan's face, and he says, what are you going to do to me? He's like, he said, I've gotten to know you this past since yesterday, and I don't think you have the guts to kill someone in cold blood. He said, because I won't fight you. And Brennan realizes that he's in a dilemma because his own moral code won't allow him to kill someone in cold blood.
Didn't stop Ethan.
Ethan didn't have a moral code.
I was thinking Robert's gonna try and change his alignment again.
No. So he basically Brennan realizes that there is nothing he could do because he can't kill this guy, and the only way he can stop him is to kill him.
Just break his kneecaps.
So Brennan decides that he's actually going to have to go away in defeat, and he leaves he leaves the village and he leaves them in forced labor and he reports back to the Harpers that he was unable to complete his mission because he couldn't bring himself to kill the man in cold blood. And it was very difficult for him because there were hundreds of people down in that mine that were dying because he's not able to act. And so he travels back to Winter Haven and just kind of spends his days just reading like magical material and looking through his spell book that he stole from the headmaster when he left the tower. And he feels drained and like he's not himself. He even has his 16th birthday while this is going on, and he doesn't do anything to it. He treats it like a normal day and does nothing to celebrate.
Does he even dwell on the fact
that
it's his birthday?
No. I mean, it's like he knows it, but it's like how old people celebrate their birthday. They know they're older, but they're just
one step closer to death.
But he just, he
Hooray,
feels
I'm 87.
he feels like he's completely failed, and he let down not only the organization that's been trying to help him, but he let down himself because he wasn't able to save those people.
Brennan's slowly becoming Ulvein.
He's gonna start brooding. Yes. No, but he's so.
I see the emo clouds forming on the horizon.
So basically, he was.
Oh dear.
The whole point of his thing was he was struck with a moral dilemma, and he could not find a way to overcome it.
So did your thing break, or did you break it?
Yes. And then while he was kind of moping about, it broke on its own, and that's when the Harpers kind of summoned him back, and that's when he had to tell them that he wasn't able to fulfill their mission.
Right.
Sorry to bring everyone down.
Why are you
Yeah,
so
you mean-
depressing?
It's a very
Glad I
sad
put you in the
story.
middle.
Yeah.
You mean their mission of the future,
So they can do it again.
meaning more powerful Brennan will probably succeed the second time around.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's okay. The
Those
toast.
I may have-
Trixie testing
I may have
Harpers.
set that up so that it can be visited again later.
That's all right because the Tunnel
Alex?
Pirates under Ruza's command just raided that village and killed everyone.
What? Including the slaves.
They went,
They
went
broke-
down,
they broke
down
through
to
the mine.
the coal mine and killed everyone.
They
For no
broke through the
reason.
mine. Our shaft found another shaft.
2 shafts can't touch.
That's just wrong.
Hey man, you
Don't
forgot
cross
about the
the
golden
streams.
rule.
How does
It's okay.
one shaft know which shaft will open to accept the other shaft?
I have a lot of pain down there now.
I just had a mental image of that crawl through my head, Kyle.
Making my brain hurt.
Okay. Oh, gross.
I think I may vomit.
All right.
All right.
So, Ulvein, let's.
This whole episode is gonna be elevator music.
Ulvein
Please hold
spent,
while we get through these stories.
Ulvein spent 16 years brooding. That's it.
As soon as Kyle goes to that description of one penis engulfing another, it just cuts off and goes technical difficulties. Skips over that whole part. So, wow. After the encounter with Calrel and the Shadow Dragon Sidraxel, Ulvein immediately takes leave of his partners and says that he feels that he needs to go and basically find his own way, meaning to himself that he's ready to stop screwing around and make his way into the Underdark. And he does that by leaving Winter Haven and going out to an area near the High Forest, Faerun, and basically taking odd jobs here and there, and eventually stumbles upon a job as a caravan guard. It's a caravan guard for the expedition into the High Forest, and they are currently under orders to survey the older portions of the ancient woods. He hopes that getting in their good graces will eventually get him on the roster to their planned survey into the Underdark so he can slip away from them and finalize his ultimate goal of taking revenge on both of his parents. As the survey expedition begins, Ulvein immediately realizes that he's not going to get along with most or not most, but one of the crew members, mainly the.
No, you said it right the first time.
Yeah, I did.
Any?
But I wanted to leave that part in suspense. The extremely chipper survey leader is. He just grates on Ulvain's patience like nobody's business. Like he's always happy, always talkative, always wants to talk with Ulvain and be buddy with him, and Ulvain is extremely repugnant to his personality. He absolutely despises him. He tries to snake away from him every chance he can get.
Doesn't he do that with everyone?
Yeah, but more so.
Okay.
More so with people.
That little extra.
Does he dislike this man more than he dislikes the wizard?
It's about the same.
Alright.
Is there gonna be?
Did he poop in this guy's
Put it in
drawer?
this guy's drawer?
He pooped in his knapsack.
Oh.
Dude,
man.
that's even worse.
Just gonna
I'm
carry that
waiting,
around.
I'm waiting for you to do it in someone's pillow.
Like
Face side up.
pretty much every encounter that Ulvain has with this guy makes him want to drink 5 ounces of hard liquor every time.
Oh. I'm
That's
sorry.
a lot of liquor.
Sorry
Yeah.
to distract you.
Liquor? I don't even know.
I lost my place in my. I lost my place and stuff. Hold on.
No. Not hold on.
Oh, and because the one other reason that he hates the caravan leader is because his extremely talkative nature makes Ulvain feel like he's attracting attention in the forest, very undue attention, but he can't really explain why. He just has it as a feeling that things are not watching the caravan, but they're watching the leader. One night they're camping deep in the woods, and a heavy rain begins to fall on them. And the caravan settles down because they don't feel that they can make it any further. Like this twilight's fading, lights going out, and they don't really have a plan. They don't really have a plan to travel in the dark. So they start to gather firewood to make a makeshift shelter out of some of the trees. Some of the guards grab axes and start to chop down some of the trees and chop off branches to start making a carapace. No, not carapace, but a tarp basically to cover them from the rain. After the crew settles in and create the fire, settle down next to it, the caravan leader rolls out a map and explains to the entire expedition that they're going to survey the entire 20-mile radius area of the forest for 10 days. A wealthy noble has instructed them to find the finest oaks for lumber to use in his new stable. And when the briefing concludes, all the members retire to their mats, finally aware of what their entire mission is. During the night, though, Ulvain starts to hear strange sounds rustling from the canopies. He feels that the tree branches are moving, and feels that some sort of predator is watching them. But he remains motionless keeps his eyes open, so as to see whatever he can, or to see if he can spot whatever's lurking up there. And suddenly a sharp whistle rockets past one of the branches, loudly followed by screams of the survey corps piercing the air. The entire expedition erupts from their mats, scrambling to find the cause. However, in an instant, more sharp whistles strike them all, causing them to fall over and writhe in agony. The sound and screams of utter pain flood Ulvain with the memories of his young adulthood when he was trained as a scout. He still remembers the spider venom-coated arrows and how each recruit was required to be pierced with the arrowhead and endure the torture of the poison. And now he's for sure that Drow are hunting him from the treetops. Ulvain quickly springs from his mat and grabs his gear and sprints into the heavy rain, straight for the forest line. He knows that most of the men are probably dead anyway from whatever venom that they've coated their arrows with, and he knows that he can't fight them in these great numbers. But suddenly Ulvain feels a rope wrap around both of his feet and constrict them together, 2 large stones forcing the rope to strangle his lower legs and crack his shin bones. He immediately falls promptly to the ground and looks up as lightning illuminates the sky, only to see the silhouette of Drow descending upon him from the tree branches. He's caught. In a silent rage, Ulvain surrenders to his captors.
That's not silent.
He thinks it's silent.
He's an expert brood level, so you can actually hear it.
You can also feel it.
He has a brood aura too.
You feel
You see just black wavy lines coming off of him.
brood aura 2. Your anger can be felt and heard. Your penis immediately shrivels.
Yes.
My penis.
The forest Drow place Ulvein bound to a post before the elder shaman in their village in the treetops. The elder shaman approaches Ulvein and begins to speak to him, asking him why he is here to help cut down the trees in the forest that he swore to protect. Ulvein immediately gets an angry and curious look on his face, and... Sorry, someone distracted me.
Sorry.
You gotta keep Justin entertained. You know he's got ADHD.
So do I, which is why it's distracting.
Oops.
Ulvein immediately gets a angry and curious look on his face and crudely describes the perceived lack of sanity on the old Drow's part, and mentions that he has no recollection of swearing fealty to the ancient wood. The elder, taken aback by his comment, draws closer to Ulvein and begins to examine him. He notices that he doesn't bear the similar markings of his clan that they do, and that he looks slightly different, almost darker in a sense. He knows that Ulvein is not part of their tribe now. The elder explains to Ulvein that the scouts spared him because they believed to be one of their kind, and they were curious as to why he wished to harm the forest like the humans. But Ulvein remarks that he has no interest in the gains or whims of men. So, now curious about why a lone Drow is with an expedition of humans, and especially in an area of the forest that's inhabited by these Drow, the elder asks him why he's even here in the first place. And Ulvein recites his reason for joining the quest, that he wished to get in their graces and slip away in the Underdark. When asked why he would want to even go to the Underdark, Ulvein mentions that he was once a denizen of the Underdark and that his parents betrayed him by making him a sacrifice to Loth, and that he wishes to take revenge on him in the first place.
Yeah.
But the Drow has a coy smile curl across his face, and he says, "Child, you'll never survive down there."
You don't know my life.
You don't know me.
But feeling kinship with Ulvein for a sorrowful past, he offers to train Ulvein. Ulvein, extremely angry that someone would dare question his survival abilities, asked the old man what that would possibly do. And the old Drow tells him that he was once exiled from the Underdark too, and that in fact all the people of this village were exiled from the Underdark. They made their homes in the treetops.
Dude, does the Underdark just hate people? Like, get out of here. We don't want you here.
It's not a real nice place.
Golly.
It's like Detroit.
It's pretty much anyone.
Wow.
Pretty much the Underdark. Anyone who doesn't agree with.
Dies or gets out.
Yeah. Anyone who doesn't agree with the current order or doesn't like it and wants to change it is branded as a heretic and thrown out. And that's what they wanted to do. All the Drow came to the forest and found it to be somewhat of an enchanting place. Like, they felt a great presence there, and so they decided to study it. And basically, they came up with the art of asceticism, where they would study nature and try to become with it, learn more about the force that binds the powers of the animals in the forest to itself.
Hippies.
Tree-hugging Drow.
Essentially.
Right? That's so weird.
That is really weird, yeah.
That is beyond weird.
Freaks.
Get back to your real nature.
They were influenced by a dirty druid.
I want to play a realistic game, Ulvein.
So you want to play a game without dragons and where everyone dies at the shot of a single arrow?
No, dragons are believable.
Those really happen. Those are real.
But
Yeah,
tree-hugging Drow? Come on, man.
Hey, there's redeemed Drow. It can happen.
Oh yeah. That's pretty.
What's next? A magical unicorn
there-
that feeds on babies?
Are there albino drow?
No.
There should be.
Hilarious.
They're called elves.
You should have made your character an albino drow. That's why he was cast out.
So you mean you're an elf? No!
Who says he won't be?
Or he's actually an elf that thinks he's an albino
He's got,
drow.
those creepy red eyes. Ugh.
Drow already have like
Yeah,
red
they do already have red eyes.
Well, then his would be like blue.
So he'd basically be a high elf.
Yep.
But he has that weird colored skin. That weird, you know what I'm talking about? Like, about albino people.
So can I
Sorry to
finish?
get off
So
topic.
can I finish now? No, it's not okay.
It's transparent. Is more what.
Your apology's not accepted.
You know, Jared, I'm gonna hug you later, and you're gonna like it.
I will like it. I like it a lot.
You could get.
I like it so much it'll make you uncomfortable, and then you'll never want to hug me again.
Can we do a group hug?
Yeah.
Let's do
Oh, that was lovely.
That was nice, guys.
Anyway, the
Unless
elder
you're touching my butt.
the elder shaman that said that these practices helped him to calm the storm within his heart that he felt when he was exiled from the Underdark too, for he was much like Ulvein. Unimpressed, Ulvein challenges the elder's training, claiming that his revenge is not so easily sated. Intrigued by Ulvein's tenacity, the elder agrees and conscripts Ulvein into the ancient practices for 1 year. 1 year passes, and after brutal asceticism sessions in the rain, snow, and dogged summer heat, Ulvein completes his training and does indeed draw closer to the enlightened state. He learns much of the cycles of life and nature, how all things have their place. But these principles never overshadow his tenacity or cruelty. They only prove to turn him into an honorable villain. Ulvein takes his leave of his adopted clan in peace, but leaves to embark on a quest for vengeance anew. The order of nature dictates that all animals will fight to claim and reclaim territory they believe to be theirs, and Ulvein now does the same to take back his home from his parents that stole it from him.
I always loved renewed vengeance.
I hate you. Even more than I hated you before. Because they showed me.
Albino drow. If you didn't come away with anything from that story, albino drow.
As he
You know you have to draw one now, right?
No.
As he walks to the outside edge
Probably
of the forest
will.
line, he peers upon the sunlight of the new day, and the pendant of the harpers cracks and takes him back to the place where he once began this morbid journey.
Morbid journey.
So. A little bit happier than the last ending,
Ulvain's
which
like
is surprising from Ulvein.
Yeah.
Ulvain's like philosophically evil now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Like this is the way of nature. Things live and things die.
I felt evil and broody before, but now I think broody and evil now.
Now I know why.
I brood with purpose.
I brood, therefore I brood. All right, the piece
Nice,
de
Jared.
resistance, the last of the last. Let's see what Jack Hammerfist has been doing.
Jack hammered his fist. That's it. That was his whole story.
For 18 months.
Holy crap! This is a really long time.
Wasn't it? Weren't we supposed to spend about 18 months, or was it a year?
It's however
or-
long you need.
Alex wouldn't give me a timeline,
Yeah.
so
You
I
get a
was
plus-
like, well, it
you get a
depends
plus
if
2
I have like a
strength
week
bonus
to
for
do
every action
something.
taken with your right arm.
Really? Okay.